Hola, me llamo señor Goodman y hoy quiero hablar de cómo yo quiero enseñar el español. Y para mí, español es un idioma que tenemos que practicar. Y no podemos aprender el español con simplemente palabras o oraciones que el profesor escribe en la pizarra. Esto no funciona mejor. Por eso tenemos que practicar con hablar. Y si hablamos en español, podemos aprenderlo. Spanish is a language that we need to practice and communicate with in Spanish classrooms. And this is my goal as a Spanish teacher, not to just teach about the language, but to actually put it to use in the classroom and have the students communicate in Spanish and practice as much Spanish as they can while in the classroom, rather than them simply learning about the language and never really getting the chance to put it to use. It is a difficult language to learn, as is any other language, but with time and constant practice in the language in the classroom, I believe the students can get a better grasp on the language. So, I believe that Spanish is a language where you need to take an active approach. It cannot be simply that the student is looking at the language from a distance, looking at how it's being written on the board, listening to the teacher speaking the language, or simply having a class taught to them entirely in English. This serves very little purpose in actually learning the language. So in that respect, I think students cannot be content with just learning the language from the textbook, or just writing down words on a page about the language, or related to the language. They rather need to be active in their approach and constantly be speaking the language and practicing out loud, even at home. They can practice out loud in front of a mirror, in front of their parents, even if their parents don't understand the language, or even if they're just talking in front of a mirror, because at least this way, they are practicing the language. They are putting it out there. They aren't just going home and then coming back the next day and writing Spanish from a textbook. They're actually practicing the language, keeping it fresh in their mind, so that when they get out of high school, they don't just remember like a few words, but they remember a lot more. But I believe if they learn to do this, they can start implementing it more into their daily lives, because it'll be more customary for them to be speaking it out loud. So when they hear the language, they can communicate with others in the language.